Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be playing the American event vehicle, the new T86. This is a vehicle you could get from the Normandy 44 event, and it's basically a floating Hellcat. Uh, it's pretty fun actually. Now, just a bit of a comparison, I think the best way to compare this to other things is with the actual Hellcat. The first thing you're gonna notice is the size. This thing is oh shit. This thing is massive. You're not gonna be sneaky, that's for sure. But you do get one interesting thing. You do get a stabilizer. This is the same sort of stabilizer you get on the Shermans, the short stabilizer. But it's pretty nice on a Hellcat. Now the speed is pretty good. You still have the basically same max speed. On the normal Hellcats it's 80 and here it's 72. Uh, so it is pretty fast, but the big downside is of course your size. But you do have a lot of dead space actually. If you're lucky, I didn't get this on footage, but you can actually bait shots right here. You can just shove this out and like it's empty. So you can just bait shots here and they shoot and you back out. But I'm not gonna be here for too long. We are gonna get right in gameplay. So for the first game today, we are on the map North Holland in the T86. The T86, basically a fat Hellcat with a stabilizer. I mean, it's not fat. It's a massive Hellcat, which is still pretty fast, with a stabilizer. So what we're gonna do first is just your normal Hellcat gameplay. You are quick, so you need to make use of that. And here you can see we can just eat up shots. Now it wasn't the best shots from the Chiri, but we did eat them up, and we are going to put ourselves in a position where we can hopefully ambush some people as they're moving towards B. Kinda bad though, we do get hit in the engine, but we do survive, and we're just gonna start the repair process and hopefully mark him for a teammate so they can take him out so he doesn't flank us. Now, how do you play this tank, or is it even worth getting? So, starting a bit about you, if you're gonna get this. It is a premium tank. It sits at rank 4, I believe, maybe rank 3, but I believe it's rank 4. So you are going to be able to grind a pretty good amount over the American tech tree. Now, it's probably gonna be quite cheap on the marketplace, since most of the time the vehicles are pretty cheap, at least in the past few years. Now, I do believe there are better options as premiums to grind the American tech tree. For example, the T29 is a much better tank in my opinion, and this is a pretty hard tank to play for beginners or newer players. The Hellcat is already pretty hard to be very effective in, and with this you do get a stabilizer, but you're just so big, and I do think it's gonna be quite difficult for newer players to have a lot of success, and therefore I do believe that the T29 is a better option, since you're be able to get more consistent games from it. But if you're already grinding this, it's a fun tank, and it is still a premium, so uh, yeah, it's a good tank. I would definitely recommend you get this if you're already grinding it, but it's not something that you must buy, in my opinion. Now, how do you play this? Well, you play it like a Hellcat, or at least that's what I did. I treated it like a big Hellcat. You do want to use your speed and mobility to flank opponents. As you can see here, we are on the flanks and we're getting a lot of success. You don't really want to take damage, or I mean, never want to take damage, but especially in light tank destroyers or light tanks, you definitely want to be avoid getting fired at, and that can be a bit hard in such a large tank, but you can often make it work. But just normal Hellcat gameplay. Use your speed and mobility to flank around. Try to hide from aircraft. I can say that when recording footage for this video, I don't know how many times I got around 4 or 5 kills and then a plane comes and shits on me. So yeah, be careful of air and use your mobility to flank and hit the enemies from the side. The gun, it's your normal 76mm gun that the Americans use. It's a good gun. You can fight most tanks pretty easily, or you can kill most tanks pretty easily. Of course, when you're at 6-0, those up tiers to 7-0 do hurt quite a bit, and you are going to struggle killing quite a few tanks from the front and at further distances, but that's just where you need to rely more on your mobility to flank around them and get them from the side. Now back to the actual games. We do get attacked by a EBR, but with the pretty quick turret traverse we do kill him quite easily. Now we are just gonna keep going towards the same spot. I think it's a pretty effective one. You still have some sort of cover. Now thinking back, I should have maybe gone to the 2 or 1 line, but now we're here and we're gonna use the same tactics. We're gonna lie in ambush and kill enemies as they come around the corners. But this is basically how you wanna play these sort of tanks, especially when you are quite restricted in what terrain you're gonna be playing at. Now when moving up towards the A point, we do get shot by a KB1. We do need to do some wood cutting before we can see him, but when we see him it's just a pretty simple shot straight through his upper front plate. Now we are going to try to put ourselves in a position where we can engage the enemies defending A. Now from the position we're currently in, that's not gonna really work. And I am a bit skeptical going forward because I feel like I'm gonna be way too close to respawn, and I'm like exposed here with basically no cover. But we do venture forward to try to eliminate someone, but just as we do, we get absolutely railed by a plane and then bombed by a Su-152, and that is unfortunately the end of our first game. Now looking at the scores after, we do get 8 kills in total and we also take first place. We're in a total of around 65,000 Silver Lions and 8,500 research points. For the second game, we are on Maginot Line and you join me as I just captured Bravo Point. Now what I'm going to try and do is get on top of the ridge right in front of us, and from this position you can always get very good line of sight to both defend B and defend C, and I think it's a very strong position to take, especially from this side. So we're gonna help our ELC Abyss just to take the top of the hill. We're gonna eliminate some tigers as well as some king tigers, and you can see here they are not the most competent players, but still they are very dangerous and scared to go up in a frontal aspect. But when you're on this side, they're not problematic at all. And I'm not really sure what this tiger was doing, but yeah, I'm not really sure what he's doing. But when he's up here, he just makes sure he gets stuck on top of this bridge and shoot his barrel. Yep, and then we just flank around. This is how you're gonna have to play when you're close in. Shoot tracks, shoot barrels, if you're facing them front on. But with my experience, I played around 50 games in this just to get a feel for it. And when you're facing a tiger, you want to avoid at all costs, especially a tiger 2. Tiger 1s are pretty easy to deal with, but especially tiger 2s, you want to avoid at all costs facing them from the front. But because the only chance you have is basically to shoot them in the barrel from the front, you can't really do much else. And also, that shot on that M41, what was that? Yeah, kind of weird how we didn't kill him, but it is what it is. We're just gonna keep continuing to scout, and now we are in the position I wanted from the beginning. And you can see how good this position is. You have good cover, and you also have great lines of sight. So all the enemies reinforcing most of A, the entirety of B, and the entirety of C. So it's a pretty easy place to defend and hold from. The only issue is of course planes, but we are gonna get to that as well. But we're just gonna continue to hold this. Now here we are going to get to the main issue I had with the T86. Well, it's not really an issue. Well, it is an issue with the tank. And what I got most annoyed by after playing this a few games. And you're gonna see right here what I died to most. Yep, it is the FW190 F8. And this is something you die to basically every game. CAS. Now, most of the time, CAS kills you by either dropping a bomb on you, or shooting a bunch of rockets at you. But with these sort of tanks, the very lightly armored ones or the open top ones, we are both. Everything can kill you. They can just use their machine guns to keep knocking out your crew, or if they have cannons, they can just absolutely shred you. This is basically the thing I die to most in the Hellcat and of course the T86. You do have a 50 cal, and you can kill some planes, but in the end you are often gonna get absolutely slammed by CAS, which gets quite annoying quite quickly, at least for me. So yeah, that is something you're definitely gonna have to get used to when playing these sort of tanks, that CAS is gonna eat you alive. Now, we just use a backup. Our team has basically won this game, but we do want to get some more kills, and rack up on this Panther doesn't really seem to have a headset. But this Tiger definitely has, but you can just back up and shoot the Capola, getting the commander and gunner, and then we can just go forward and try to finish him off. Now, most of the games, at least how I felt like when playing this tank, was either you have a games like this where it's just a steamroll basically, or you have a pretty close game but you just get absolutely slammed by CAS all the time. And maybe I know maybe this is just a skill issue on my part, but I didn't really get any fantastic games in these. The second game you're watching here is basically what most games looks like, and the first one is one of the better games I got, just because you are so vulnerable to CAS, which I find quite problematic. It would have been okay if we were at least survivable to most cannon and machine gun fire, but we are not, so we're just so easy and fragile from the air. And that is just basically how I felt when playing this tank. I feel too vulnerable. Now again, maybe this is a skill issue on my part. I'm not the best player. I'm not nowhere close being a fantastic player in this game. But I feel like this is what most players are gonna experience when playing these sort of tanks, especially the T86. Now, we didn't get that kill, but we know it's 6 kills and 8 assists. So it only says we got 5 kill assists, but we know we got 8. We saw it on the end screen. We also got 5 kills, basically 6, so we're gonna take that as 6, earning us a total of 80,000 research points and 84,000 silver lions. So the T86, any good? Yes, it is a good tank. It's a basically a Hellcat, and Hellcats are always good. It does struggle a bit in up turns, but if you just use your mobility, you won't really have any major issues. Uh, it's a fun tank. I wouldn't really rush to buy it though. It's not something like game breaking or game breakingly new. It is very vulnerable to CAS, but most of these sort of tanks are. But overall, a fun vehicle, a fun event. It's not something just copy pasted, and it's a pretty interesting and unique vehicle. So with that, the video has come to a close.